What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, say whatever you want about Sledgehammer. I've had my fair share of complaints in the past, but I've been saying time and time again, they deliver. And I'll be honest with you guys, I was a tad bit worried leading up to Season 2 because they're being a tad bit quiet. They weren't saying much, they weren't really discussing much, talking to the community. And I was starting to believe that, they were going to go ahead and do that winter break crap. Every single time the holiday season comes, the developers just completely fall off afterwards. They don't bother communicating, they don't bother fixing the game. Everything just kind of, goes to crap. And I was worrying that was going to happen with Season 2, but the patch notes just came out, ladies and gentlemen, and let me tell you, Sledgehammer freaking delivered. They did such a tremendous job, and again, we're going to be going ahead and testing it out, and by the time this video goes live, if you're watching it right away, I am streaming. So if you guys want to go ahead and check out my live impressions of this brand new season and see what I have to say about it before we make a video tomorrow diving deeper into the changes here and, really discussing it, by all means, tune into that stream. You can find a link to my Kick channel down in the description of this video. But today we are going to be covering the patch notes that have just been released, and like I said, it is jam-packed with some of the best information I could possibly deliver to you guys. But ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get right into the discussion here. Funny enough, I just put out a video today as well, talking about my worries when it came to the feeling of the mouse input, and how the weapons feel as well, and how they did talk about in a previous Reddit post that they were going to touch upon it. But, it's been over one season, months, that we haven't had any discussions. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, Season 2 has some big changes, as you can see right here. Today's update includes substantial adjustments to core attributes of weapons in Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone, prompted by players' feedback and internal review. These changes intend to improve the precision and responsiveness of aiming, particularly while using a mouse, although these changes may be observed regardless of the input device. Again, like I said, this is for console as well. I know they're saying, definitely specifically for the mouse too, but console players will definitely 1010% feel a lot of these changes here. But ADS idle sway. While players aim down sight, idle sway is active. This mechanic discourages players from holding their sights for an extended period of time with a constant subtle motion that introduces slight inaccuracy. ADS idle sway now initiates shortly after aiming down sights rather than immediately, introducing a delay to the sway curve that is generally 5 ms long but varies by weapon. Note, sniper rifles are not included in this change. After the initial delay, ADS idle sway now gradually increases over a 3-second period before reaching peak speed, rather than beginning at full speed upon aiming down sights. Again, sniper rifles are not included in this change. ADS idle sway now consistently begins from the position of the player's hipfire crosshair, rather than along the sway curve. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is absolutely huge. And ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't just end there. It goes on to say hipfire crosshair sway. The trajectory of weapon bullets is represented by the hipfire crosshair position on the player's screen. Previously, the crosshair was influenced by the direction of the weapon, causing the firing direction to deviate from the center of the screen. Today's changes eliminate the resulting compromise to accuracy without sacrificing the weight and reactivity this motion added. Hipfire crosshair will no longer sway from the center of the screen while players move or rotates the camera. Note, we're aware that certain stock attachments may reintroduce this behavior. This is unintentional and will correct these artifacts in future game updates. Weapon bullet trajectory is now truly aligned with the hipfire crosshair and thus the center of the player's screen. These changes reward skillful aim. Simply put, where you are aiming is where your bullet will go. Guys, again, I don't know how many times I can go ahead and say this, but this is freaking huge. Now, I'm not sure, after reading this, I can't really tell if they're talking about while you're ADSing. Remember, when you ADS with a gun and you move left to right, when you're strafing, the actual reticle itself shifts left and right as well, taking you off the center of the screen. So I don't know if that's going to be fixed. Again, I'll test it out while I'm playing the game today. You can stop into the stream to see what I have to say. But regardless, these changes are absolutely huge, and hopefully they will make the gameplay feel so much better, especially for the people who are saying the gunfights are feeling inconsistent, they don't feel good. That is exactly why, because Call of Duty is an arcade shooter, and you want your bullets to go exactly where you're shooting, but if the more you're looking around, the more you're strafing, the more your reticle moves away from the center, the less accurate you're going to be. And it's not going to be a twitch, snappy shooter anymore. It's going to be more of, I guess, a realistic style shooter. And, people do enjoy that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, I think what people want out of this COD game specifically, and just COD in general, is a nice arcade style shooter. So, again, that's phenomenal. But the next one is even better, ladies and gentlemen. Bug fixes. Addressed an issue causing field of view to be set higher than intended after infill. So I'm assuming this is that 200 or whatever FOV glitch or bug that's in the game, that is really annoying for a lot of players. Next one, players will no longer dive while using the slide-only option on controller. That's good. But this is where it gets really juicy. Decreased delay before health regeneration begins from 4 seconds to 3 seconds, minus 25% right there. That is huge, ladies and gentlemen. That is huge. That's what people have been begging for since the beginning of this game. It's 150 HP, and it's going to be a lot of gunfights where they're going to be really compact. You got to be able to heal faster, and we've been begging them to allow this to happen, and finally, we have some changes. And after that, increased health regeneration rate from 40 HP a second to 75. What? Are you kidding? Plus 88% on that bad boy. So not only are you going to be able to regenerate your health quicker, but you're going to be able to do it at a faster rate. Guys, I am so curious to see how this is going to make the gameplay feel. This is going to be freaking absurd to test out, and I cannot wait to see the outcome of these, changes to the health. And they said we've adjusted health regeneration to better match the pace of gameplay. Thank you. Now, for example, it will only take 5 seconds to heal from 1 to 150 health, down from the previous 7.7 seconds. These changes aim to enhance the intensity and satisfaction of gunfights. Again, huge, because over half the time in Modern Warfare 3, it's a weird mix with Modern Warfare 3, right? Because the gameplay is fun, it's fast, it's action-packed, but then you have absurdly slow health regeneration. So you're getting into the zone, you're getting some crazy feeds, you're hauling ass, you're getting some good plays, but then you have to stop, and you have to sit there for freaking 10 plus seconds to regenerate your health to get back into the action. It was never like that with 150 HP games. A lot of the time in these 150 HP games, stims were like the go-to as well. Like Black Ops 4, for example, you were always stimming up to get right back into the action. You're always healing, you're always getting back up to pace. Same thing with Black Ops Cold War. I thought the health regeneration wasn't too shabby in that game. But in this game right here with 150 HP, this had to be done, and guess what? They freaking did it. Another concern that people were worried about, and I'm happy that they actually touched upon it. And then, again, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it's some juicy stuff today. Decreased melee lunge distance of all Modern Warfare 3 weapons to align with Modern Warfare 2 standards. Don't really care about that one. This right here is where it gets really juicy. Increased movement speed of all Modern Warfare 2 weapons to align with Modern Warfare 3 standards. Huge! Absolutely huge. One of the biggest complaints with Modern Warfare 2 guns is that they feel too much like freaking Modern Warfare 2. All the attachments weigh them down. You feel like a slug, and you just feel like, why should I use these weapons when I can go ahead and rock a Modern Warfare 3 gun that has no visual recoil, that gives me no penalties for ADS and strafing? Why would I bother with Modern Warfare 2 guns? That is a big one right there. And then added gun kick control and recoil control benefits and tactical stance for all weapons. Whatever. Honestly, the biggest one on that list was increased movement speed of all Modern Warfare 2 weapons. Again, there's so much stuff that we have to do today, guys. Like, seriously, it's so much stuff to test because they are not playing around with this update here, and I'm glad. I wanted Season 2 to be a banger. Season 1 Reloaded, I was a little let down with changes, but here we are, and they are just running it right now. And guys, oh my goodness, wait until you hear this one. For the Sidewinder, increased bullet velocity from 540 to 600, plus 11%. Decreased recoil and gun kick significantly. Guys, I'll be honest, the rest of the weapon changes aren't too crazy. I was expecting more of a meta shakeup, but it seems like instead of changing up the meta every other, month or every other update, their plan is just to make everything as equal as possible because, it seems like they did a few things here and there. They didn't really touch too much on the ARs, not too much on the SMGs. They gave like the Striker a buff. A lot of the LMGs got buffed up a little bit. I think the TAC got a little bit of a decrease though. Nothing too crazy across the board, but the Sidewinder, this is a gun that I've been waiting for because, again, this gun reminds me of the Man O' War. That's one of my favorite guns, honestly, when it comes to COD. That thing was just a demon. Slow fire rate, packs a punch. I like weapons like that. I really do, especially for assault rifles. They're fun to use. This is a battle rifle, but still, it's fun. But it had something wrong with it still. And even after the previous buff they gave it, it felt better. It felt way better. I said it a trillion times, but it still wasn't quite there yet. And I said in that video, I said very specifically, I think it's the bullet velocity. it hits good. It's a strong weapon. The decrease in recoil last time was pretty decent, but the bullets just, they weren't landing. You know what I'm saying? It felt like I was shooting in slow motion. I went ahead and chalked it up to bullet velocity, and here we are. They went ahead and increased the bullet velocity. We are going to get, like I said, 1010% on stream today. We are testing this out. I have to see if this thing is, good now, because I thought that was the final thing. And then even further, they decreased the recoil and gun kick significantly again. I mean, the first time they decreased it was already good enough. I can't imagine how much of a beam machine this thing might be right now. I'm so curious. This is going to be the first thing I use on stream, the first thing. And who knows, if it's good enough, it might be a permanent thing on my class. But again, I'll get back to you guys on that one. As always, tune to the stream. I got a link to that down in the description of this video. But guys, these are good patch notes right here. I'm a man of my word. I always say I'm going to tell you guys the truth, 1010%, no matter what. And these are good patch notes. Tons of things that we have complained about. And I'm talking, obviously people are going to be angry about skill-based matchmaking and all that stuff. I'm talking about the people who play this game, the people who enjoy this game. These were the biggest critiques. Health regeneration. The Sidewinder was still garbage. The way the mouse feels, and even how it feels to aim on controller as well. They touched upon so many different things here. I'm happy about this. And also, the Modern Warfare 2 maps are finally being added into the quick play rotation. Once again, phenomenal. Anything to add more content into the game. I never understood why they kept those Modern Warfare 2 maps specifically in a playlist. And again, you could say, oh, I don't want that garbage in that. I didn't mind the Modern Warfare 2 maps. I enjoyed them. And again, we have map voting this time around. So if you don't want to play it, just pick the other map. It just adds more to the mix. I was waiting for that one, man. They did it. Sledgehammer, man, you guys might have went silent. You guys might have been a little sneaky there. But whoo, you guys don't play around, do you? You guys don't play around. You guys have gone from probably one of my most hated development teams. I got to be honest, I don't want to offend nobody that might work at that team. But you guys have gone from one of my most hated development teams to one of my favorites now. Advanced Warfare, I sold. I didn't even bother playing Vanguard. I switched up and went over to Battlefield 2042. World War II, didn't even bother. I was heavy into PUBG during that phase. Every single time a Sledgehammer project comes out, I usually just end up not playing it. This has been hands down their best game they have produced. And communication-wise, oh my God, chef's kiss. It has been just superb. I've not witnessed this level of communication and this level of just guys, it feels like they play the game. That's the whole point. It feels like they play the game. Every time I play a Treyarch game or Infinity Ward game, it feels like they just don't bother playing it because all these problems are literally right in front of them. If they would just simply play a couple of matches of the game, they could see it themselves, right? But the problems never get solved. And even though we love Treyarch, we can't deny that they've been pretty rough recently as well when it comes to, those simple solutions that all it takes is just playing the game to understand, right? Here we are, and they are really going at it. They are really going at it. I'm proud of them. I'm happy with their work. I've been enjoying this game since day one. Obviously, I will always have my criticisms. I'll always critique it. I'll always have my rants. You guys know on this channel, I cover both sides, and if you can't handle that, then this isn't the channel for you, man. I'm sorry to say. But, when they deserve props, they deserve it, and when they don't deserve it, I'll let you guys know. But since the beginning of this game, I've been having a blast. The only thing holding it back, man, is the skill-based matchmaking. Even though I feel like my lobbies have been still mixed ever since I made that, skill-based matchmaking reduction video. My lobbies still feel mixed, but I'm going to see after Season 2. That's why I haven't made a follow-up video on that one, because I want to wait a little bit until after Season 2. I want to see if they're trying to finesse the community to hop back into the game. And then once they snag them all up and everybody buys the battle pass and all that stuff, they're going to, flip the switch. So I'm holding off, but maybe a couple of weeks down the road, you'll see my follow-up skill-based matchmaking video. But guys, as always, leave a like if you enjoyed, leave a dislike if you hated it, subscribe and hit that bell so you can stay notified on all content just like this. Like I said, I post daily here, sometimes double uploads when it's hot news like this, and tomorrow, you best believe, I'm going to have so many different videos coming out, describing, deep diving, and just having a blast with the Season 2 content. So, like I said, hit that bell so you can stay notified. And also, don't forget, if you do want to check out any of my live streams, I do it over on Kick, and I'm actually streaming right now as we speak. So, by all means, if you guys want to check it out, I got a link to that channel down in the description of this video. As always, thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.